trigger ranking. So basically, I'm fixing to do a little review on a video about the Jiggle Man. We're gonna do a little video about Jay Z today. I'm just doing a reaction to the Law and Crime channel. I'm doing a reaction to basically maybe a few days back. I think it was from like right before the Super Bowl or like Friday. It was basically saying that they were trying to basically figure out about Jay Z making a new move or whatever. So yeah, man. Y'all get in the comment section, hit the like, you know what I'm saying, subscribe, share the video, all of this and that. Also, y'all want to make a donation to the channel, my cash app is in the description. So yeah, y'all hit me up, man. Alright, y'all, let's get it. See what's going on.
It's a big week for Jay-Z. His Rock Nation is geared up to produce the most watched live performance of the year, the Super Bowl halftime show. And of course, he was there to cheer on his wife, who took home the coveted award of Album of the Year at this year's Grammys. So in light of all of that, he's also making a surprising move in his ongoing back and forth with Tony Buzbee. Now at this point, we all know who the Texas-based attorney is. You know, the same one who said that he had more than 100 accusers ready to file lawsuits against Diddy.
After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
And of course, we know later that Jane Doe, who is being represented by the Texas attorney, filed a suit a couple weeks after this press conference accusing Diddy of raping her when she was just 13 years old, then amended it.
So basically, 13. And this what they was trying to pull Jay-Z into. So yeah, man, it's crazy because sometimes things can't happen, and people do certain things in life or whatever, and they come back on them. That's why you gotta be careful whatever you do in this life, man. Make sure that you just do the right thing, bro. Just do the right thing. If you do the right thing, you won't have no problems, you won't have no issues. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Because, you know what I'm saying, you making it happen on a positive side or positive area. But yeah, come on, y'all, let's keep rocking.
That complaint weeks later, adding Jay-Z, Sean Carter's name to that child rape lawsuit alongside Diddy. A female celebrity was also mentioned in that complaint as well. However,
So they keep talking about the female celebrity, y'all. We trying to figure out who this female celebrity was in the room when supposedly Jay-Z and Diddy was doing whatever they was doing to this 13-year-old. They say it's another person, but it was a woman, and she was a superstar also. So let's keep going with it, y'all.
her identity has since remained a mystery. Since that happened, first, let me say both Sean Combs and Sean Carter have denied those accusations. Diddy's team said, quote, "In court, the truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor." Meanwhile, Jay-Z made a scathing statement of denial, mainly targeting Tony Buzbee. He said in part, quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Buzbee. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No,
I'm in America, dog.
effect.
Hold on.
It made me want to expose you."
Hold on, y'all. Let me slide back just a tad bit. Somebody asked me where I'm from, or what country I'm in. I'm in America. I'm in the U.S. The USA, they not like us.
Want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. Now that statement went on to call Tony Buzbee a deplorable human, a man with no valor, and an ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Now while Diddy sits in a jail cell awaiting trial, by the way, pleaded not guilty to those charges, denies all the accusations made in the various lawsuits, Jay-Z and Tony Buzbee have been going back and forth with lots of motions filed, complaints filed,
appreciate the
and
follow.
accusations
Appreciate the
flying
follow.
on both
Thank you.
ends. The Jane Doe alleging she was raped by Diddy and Jay-Z went on NBC, where they pointed out consistencies in her account of what happened, including that her father picked her up after the alleged rape. Her father later told NBC he didn't recall that. She claimed she spoke.
So they were trying to basically get the girl, like basically trying to catch her up in a lie or whatever on national TV. But y'all gotta remember, Tony Buzbee has won 10 billion in legal cases. You think somebody who done won $10 billion don't want to make no more money? They just want to just commit suicide on their career. That's basically suicide on your career. Because you got a man that's worth $1 billion, but you got a man that has won $10 billion in cases. He was a part of the Deshaun Watson case. And I think out of 25 women, I think 22 settled out of court or something like that. So, yeah, man. All right, y'all, let's keep it going.
To a celebrity there, but that celeb wasn't even in New York at that time. And photos showed Diddy and Jay-Z at different locations than the Jane Doe described. Now that interview happened in mid-December. By the end of that month, Jay-Z sued Busby for defamation and extortion. Jay-Z's legal team has also been pushing for the Jane Doe to not hide under anonymity. And of course, Jay-Z's lawyers have been trying to get his name off that child rape lawsuit.
So basically, Jay-Z done, like in the beginning when she first came out, Jay-Z done was like they want to know her name. And a lot of times when stuff like this comes out and the person that's being accused want to know their name, they basically just want to just get this out of the way, sweep it under the rug. Because if Jay-Z get the name, he can go to her and be like, "Hey man, I give you $30 million. Just drop the lawsuit." You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically speaking, like, you know, this could actually happen. You know what I'm saying? Like if they were to find out her name. But because they're not divulging her name, that goes to show also that the girl, she basically, they were saying that Tony Busby them tried to shake Jay-Z down for money. But Jay-Z just sent out, Tony Busby sent out a letter to Jay-Z's legal team basically saying, you know, just what every letter would have to do with you coming in this court and the allegations that against you. So, yeah, y'all, let's keep going, man.
Or just have it dismissed altogether. Now, a judge ruled that she can't proceed anonymously for now, but scolded Jay-Z's attorneys for their combative motions and inflammatory language used against Tony Busby. Then in January, a legal petition was filed by a Texas man who was represented by Tony Busby, who also accused Jay-Z's lawyers of bribing people to sue Busby and his law firm. So a lot's happened. Now in a surprising move, Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro is seemingly softening up on Busby. In a letter to Judge Annalisa Torres, the same one who previously scolded him, Spiro wrote, quote, "Dear Judge Torres, we write on behalf of defendant Sean Carter to respectfully request that Mr. Carter's motion for sanctions pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 11 be withdrawn at this time without prejudice. We have discussed this matter with counsel for plaintiff who consents to this submission and agrees the withdrawal is without prejudice." And that motion was terminated.
So they saying that Jay-Z, they tried to sue Tony Busby, but basically, they saying Jay-Z made a move where he withdrew the lawsuit. And y'all, I'm telling you, man, Tony Busby out here, bro. I done seen a picture with Tony Busby and the President Trump. So y'all gotta think about some of the connections the man does have. So, you know, and when Tony Busby got sued by Jay-Z, he actually returned a suit back on Jay-Z. So Tony Busby is suing Jay-Z also. I forgot the name of the that's representing Tony Busby, but at the end of the day, y'all, the same legal company, you can look it up, that's representing Tony Busby also represented Donald Trump. So that's another little tidbit we got there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what does it mean? Well, last month, Jay-Z's lawyer asked the court to impose sanctions against Busby for allegedly failing to do a reasonable investigation before filing the rape allegations against him. Jay-Z's lawyer even pointed out that Busby admitted to not even meeting Jane Doe before he signed off on her complaint. But Busby maintains the case was appropriately vetted. So while the move from Jay-Z's lawyers was surprising, it might also be a part of their strategy. At this time, neither Jay-Z, his legal team, or Tony Busby have publicly responded to this surprising move. But it's likely not the end of this ongoing legal saga, and we could hear more very soon. Let's unpack this further with attorney and litigator Rich Schoenstein. Rich, always great to see you. What's your reaction to this move done by Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro? Are you surprised that he asked the judge to drop the motion for sanctioning Tony Busby?
Well, I'm a little bit surprised because, asking for sanctions is a pretty aggressive move.
So basically, they saying this guy they got here talking. He's saying he's surprised that Jay-Z drew back the lawsuit against Tony Busby.
And so to turn around and withdraw that motion is a notable retreat from that move. So
He said a notable retreat. A notable retreat. So for Jay-Z to withdraw his lawsuit against Tony Busby is a notable retreat. Y'all gotta listen to these words they're saying
I
now.
wasn't expecting it. And the question is, why did they do it? And I would assume that's what we're going to talk about.
Definitely. And I, also want to ask, this letter said they want to withdraw it without prejudice. Why is that part important?
Well, without prejudice just means they could bring it again. So you can either withdraw a motion with prejudice, which means it's resolved and we can't bring it again, or
So
without
they're saying he
prejudice.
withdrew it without prejudice. They removed the lawsuit without prejudice. If they removed it with prejudice, they could bring it back up, but without prejudice, but
This, which means the court doesn't have to deal with this now, but we're not waiving our rights. We're going to save the right to bring the motion again at a later time.
And he was previously scolded by that same judge, inflammatory language against Tony Busby. But do you think that this is a part of a new strategy not to be harsh on the Jane Doe lawyer, instead hope to just get this suit dismissed instead?
she asked a great question. Do you feel like this is the reason why they withdrew it, because they don't want to be harsh on the lawyer because it could look detrimental to them when they actually go to court? Which makes sense. She made a great point right there. Great point. Great point.
Possibly. So that first thing you mentioned about the judge's reaction, I have three theories about why this was withdrawn. And the first one is exactly what you said. The judge has already indicated on the record that she's not thrilled with the way the attorneys are going at each other in this. And no judge is. No judge wants to make a case about conflict between the lawyers. Lawyers end up skirmishing all the time. They don't like each other all the time. They accuse each other of bad stuff all the time. And no judge wants the case to be about that. The judge wants the case to be about the merits, about the claims, about the parties, not about the lawyers. So she dressed down the lawyers at one point about this kind of activity, and it's possible that they have withdrawn the motion because they just don't think the judge is going to really consider it, given her predisposition. That's one possibility.
And what's your other possibility?
I have two other possibilities, and it could be a mix of the three. The second possibility that occurred to me is, for some reason, the people who brought the motion, and that's the Quinn Emanuel firm, no longer think the motion is that strong. It's possible they've evaluated things. It's possible, they were claiming that the plaintiffs didn't vet the claims enough and made representations in the complaint that could not have been true. And maybe with further analysis, they've come to a view that the allegations in the complaint are not so demonstrably false that you could prevail on a motion for sanctions. Remember, a motion for sanctions is really hard to win on. I mean, they're very infrequently granted.
So they saying that it's an uphill battle, y'all. It's an uphill battle. Hey, Epic Face, what's up? What's up? How you doing, Epic Face? Hit the like button if you come in here, man.
Granted, especially in a contentious case like this. So I wouldn't have expected it to be granted anyway. So the second possibility is that Quinn Emanuel just decided it's not the best motion. It's not our best. We have a separate motion to dismiss the complaint against our client.